do the sex.
Hi everybody, Annette Benedetti here, and I'm going to be introducing you to Tracy's Dog's OG3. This is a dual stimulator with both clit sucking and pleasuring capabilities, along with the G-spot and A-spot stimulating capabilities. And I'm going to be walking you through her features, her specs, how to use her, what I love about her, and everything else you want to know about this toy. But before we dive in, make sure to like and subscribe to my channel, and then scroll down and click the link below to subscribe to my e-newsletter so you can receive reviews like this one, along with expert-backed tips, tricks, and information that will help you start having better sex tonight. And make sure to write down my special code for tracysdog.com. It is Annette15, and every time you shop Tracy's Dog and you use my code, you're going to get that additional 15% off, whether you use it on the OG3 or any of the other amazing products that you'll find at Tracy's Dog. All right, let's dive in. Let's start with what comes in the box when you get your OG3. First, you're going to notice the fun, gorgeous packaging that this toy comes in. I love Tracy's Dog's style. Inside the box, you are going to find the OG3, which comes in this gorgeous purple hue. This has to be one of my favorite colors. So you get the toy itself, obviously. Along with the toy, you're going to get a USB charger. Now, this charger is unique. You will see that it has two little ports where it's going to split and charge these separate parts of this toy. I'm going to get to that in a minute. But this is a very unique charger, and it is specifically meant for this very cool toy. Now, along with the toy and the charger, you're going to get a detailed user manual telling you exactly how you can use it, and of course a discreet pouch to store your toy in, because of course we want to keep the toy and its charger together at all times. Hopefully you'll use it enough that you won't need to keep that user manual. I've got it memorized. Now let's talk features. Tracy's Dog's OG3 is a unique toy, and I'm going to get into it, but I'm going to start with the features. First of all, it is a dual stimulator. As you can tell, it has both the ability to do the clitoral suction blowing stimulation. It is also a G-spot vibe. Now, I want you to notice that it attaches here in the back. So the G-spot function is actually detachable from the clitoral section part of it. And this is going to be a highlight for me down the road. I will explain that to you. But this is one of the coolest features about it. Another really cool feature is its flexibility. You can see with the G-spot toy part of it, it's totally bendy, and you can change it into all sorts of shapes without worrying about breaking it. It's not mechanical at all. It's almost like Play-Doh in a way, except much firmer than that. It's firm, but it's soft and squishy and made out of smooth, silky smooth, body-safe silicone, which is, of course, a must for any toy that I am going to put inside of my body. This toy takes about 90 minutes to fully charge, and then you have about an hour and a half to 2 hours of playtime. And she has given me a lot of playtime, and I will tell you about how I've used her in just a minute. She is fully waterproof. Again, great for cleaning. The other thing, because when you go to clean your toys, you want to be able to clean them thoroughly. And if you're worried about, breaking them by submerging them, you may not clean them as well as you should. So that is a plus with the waterproof, as well as, yes, you can use it in the bath or the hot tub or wherever you want. The other thing that's really cool about this toy, you can see that there are no breaks in it. It's one smooth surface, especially this insertable part, which is really important. So it's extra easy to clean because nothing gets caught in crevices, and you don't want stuff in crevices, that's for sure. She also comes with smarter controls, and I will get to talking to you about that. You can see the controls right here on this side. There's 3 buttons, and on this side There's 2 buttons. Additionally, there is a button right here that turns the insertable part on. The OG3 has 10 intensities, so there's a lot of variety for you to play with and enjoy. And along with that, she comes with what they are calling dynamic pulse mode. So that adds even more variety to your overall experience. Okay, I want to go over how you can control the OG3. The OG3 works together with the clitoral stimulation and the insertable part. You can also use them separately, but I'm going to walk through how you can use it first with them attached because I find this very intriguing. There are 3 buttons on this clitoral section body part. The middle button is your power on button, and there you go. You can see that she's on. You might have seen a little flash on the front end. That is the power indicator, and it showed 3 little lit up buttons and the fact that this baby is fully charged and ready for me to have some fun. Now, in order to turn her on and turn her up, she's already on this clitoral suction part of her. To turn on the insertable part, there is a power button on the back. You're just going to long hold it, it buzzed, came on, you see the light is on. They are now acting as one. To go through the 10 intensities with the suction part, you can see I am toggling through. I'm going to turn it off for a second so I can talk. There is the plus button and there is the minus button, and that's going to toggle through the suction intensities. But if you want to go into dynamic pulse mode and control the insertable part, I'm going to turn her back on. You can see she's on. And there are the 2 buttons here on the back, and you can just click through them to control the pulses that are happening here. And that's really silent. Again, I can't tell what you're hearing yet because I'm recording and my mic is right here, but this part is virtually silent. Now, if I want to change what's going on with the clitoral suction part of it, I'm going to toggle through the plus and minus buttons. And there's so much variety to be had. I love that when they're together, you can control the insertable part from this handheld body part because it's nice to have all of your controls in one area and accessible to you so you can switch things up without having to hunt around for something on the body of it or an app on the phone. I think that's super cool. Now, you can also use these separately, and as you can see, as bendable as I showed you that this neck part was, this part that attaches them is also incredibly stretchy, and you just pull them out and there you go. You have the separate parts of them. I'm going to start with the clitoral stimulation part and what I think are cool features about it. So this little rubber bandy part that I showed you before is a perfect place to put your finger, and when you put your finger into it, you'll see that it's very natural the way your finger sits in it. And you can put your finger in from different directions, but this is clearly the direction that feels most comfortable to me and natural to me. And then you basically turn it on, and you're using it just for clitoral stimulation, nipple stimulation, whatever, body stimulation, and you're getting that little puffing and blowing piece to it. So if you're not in the mood for penetration, you just take this off and there you go. You've got a clitoral stimulation toy. I think that's really cool. And then for the insertable part of this toy, for the G spot and the A spot, you can see she's quite long. You push your power button there and you can turn her on, and you can toggle through the vibrations with the power button. They're actually quite strong, and you can use whichever end of this you want to get the stimulation you want. It's got this nice little hooked area with the knob for G-spot stimulation, or if you reach farther back, you're going to reach your A spot, your O spot. This end of it has the most vibration in it, so you can just stick to using that for penetration, and the shape becomes quite ergonomic for you. Again, you can bend this into whatever shape you want and use it on its own. You can use it for anal play, you can use it for vaginal play, but it's a toy in and of itself. So you're basically getting 3 toys in this one toy. So let's dive into how I use this toy. First of all, the OG3 is a go-to toy for me. I've had her for a while. I use her all of the time. I quite often just use this part for my clitoral stimulation. When I'm just wanting clitoral stimulation, this part goes everywhere with me. It does the job. It can be fairly intense if I wanted to. When I was jacking up those 10 intensities, it gets quite intense. I also love the way my finger fits in it. I can find my clit really quickly. During intimacy, if there's penetration with a partner, I can use this part of it for my clit. It's great if I'm in doggy style. It's great, you know, if I'm laying down, I can get to my clit. Great. It is a great sex companion. Now, I will say that because of this a little bit of a bigger body to it, sometimes it can get in between and get uncomfortable. But all in all, this is a great clit stimulator, and it's in my go bag for travel. I take this traveling with me everywhere because it's 3 toys in one. So I don't have to bring a lot of other toys. Before I put her back together, I also want to talk about why I love her as a G-spot or insertable stimulator. I love that the vibration is pretty intense. I get really good G-spot and A-spot intensity off of this toy when it's turned on. I love that I can use either end, and so therefore different sensations. Like this little curve part feels very different than this smooth, thicker part, which feels much more like natural penetration. Also, because I can bend her and she's long, I can reach deep inside when I'm really getting there, and therefore enjoy some duo G-spot and A-spot stimulation for some of my strongest orgasms. It works very well on its own, and because it's also so soft and flexible, it never causes me pain. So sometimes when I orgasm, I really get tight, and it can be painful with toys that have less give to it. And this has just the perfect amount of give to it. Now I'm going to put her together, and I'm going to talk about her as a dual stimulator. Okay, she's quite easy to get back together. This is very stretchy, but it is also very strong and sturdy. So it's not like it feels like she's going to fall apart. Again, as a dual stimulator, what makes the OG3 unique is how bendable and flexible it is, and how it can fit a variety of sizes and shapes of bodies. So it really can fit to a variety of body types, which I think is just such a big plus. I love this dual stimulator. As everybody knows who's been watching my content, I'm a big fan of the Womanizer Duo 2 and the Blend, but the OG3 is just unique in comparison to them. It definitely has more versatility in the scope of like how you can bend and flex it to your body. I've had many blended orgasms from this toy. I feel like when it's put together in dual stimulation mode, it is most effective at hitting and waking up my A spot further back, and just lighting up that area all along that inner front wall of my vagina while hitting my clit perfectly. It also stays in place really well. So especially if I'm sitting up a little bit in bed and I have her inserted, I can kind of rock on her and enjoy that natural feeling of my body getting into using the OG3 hands-free. this toy is a win-win for me. You can use it with a partner. You can use it when you're alone by yourself. You can get your blended orgasms. You can get your clitoral orgasms. So she is a good solo sex companion. Again, this is a great toy to use with partners because you can use the insertable arm by itself when you are with someone else. If you want to have sort of that DP experience, you can use it anally, you can use it vaginally. And then I like the dual experience on my own. So let's walk through the pros and the cons when it comes to the OG3. There are so many pros when it comes to this toy. It's kind of a one of a kind, to be honest with you. It's high quality. It's a high quality toy, and you can tell that. The materials it's made out of feel good. The versatility is unmatched. Just the fact that you can take it apart, use them separately, that you can use them together, that somehow magically you can control the bottom part with the top part. It's a pretty magical toy that way. I love the clit stimulator. For me, and you know, oftentimes, or at least I used to really need a lot of intense clitoral stimulation, and this reaches the intensity I need and goes beyond. The insertable part, I love the buzzy feeling. It's pretty much a guaranteed blended orgasm when I'm using them together. I love that I can take one toy with me when I travel and have 3 toys. That is a huge bonus. I feel like it's a pretty easy toy for beginners too. Again, it's pretty basic in that you turn it on and you've got the up and down button for the logical toggle experience. It's got these 2 buttons here. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's not really complex. So I think if you are somebody who's never used a dual stimulator before and you are looking for one to try, this toy might be perfect for you, because if you try it and you don't like it, you still have 2 toys that you can use. You still have a clit stimulator and you still have an insertable. It's a win-win situation. But what makes it even better is the price point. I think at the time of this recording, it's $89, which blows my mind. And on top of that, you can use my discount, a net 15. So it's very affordable. And in the end, you are going to get a pretty amazing bang for your buck. So let's talk about cons. Cons, it's a little bit hard. I always feel like I want to give you some honest things that I don't love about it, but I've been using this toy for a long time and I use it a lot. She's got a lot of miles on her. Again, I love to use this clit stimulator. I like it in my go bag if I'm like going away for the weekend and I just know I'm gonna want to like bang it out in the bathroom for a quick orgasm if I need to or something like that. And then I love the dual function as well. So I guess the cons would be there is a learning curve to her. When it comes to the noise level, the arm is nearly silent. But when it comes to the clitoral suction part of it, it's a little bit noisier. Now, it does not go above 60 decibels. I'm not sure I even know what that means, but that's what they say. So for those of you out there who are really serious about sound and no sound, it doesn't go above 60 decibels. But for me, I would say it's just a slightly below mid-range as far as noise goes. It's not super noisy. It's not so noisy that it interrupts my ability to experience pleasure, but it's also not as silent as the arm part. So for some people who are super sound sensitive, that might be a problem. Outside of that, it's got a learning curve, but there aren't a lot of drawbacks to this toy. I use this toy a lot. I was a big fan of their original OG, which I still have and use often. But and I did not know how they would improve on it, and they've gone and done it. They've gone and done it, and this is the toy for that. And again, at that price point, for people who are kind of hemming and hawing about whether or not to get a dual stimulator, or they're like, oh, that toy looks fun, but I don't know. I mean, $89 for 3 toys in one is a great deal. And again, you have that discount that you can use. So I love the OG3. Use it all of the time. All of the time. So I'm just gonna recommend it. If you are someone who wants an insertable, and if you are someone who's really curious about or who loves dual stimulation, then there's no reason for this to not be in your toy box. I'm just gonna say it, hands down. Again, you can check her out at tracysdog.com. I'm putting the link below. You can head to it, you can check her out, you can check out their other line of toys. I love Tracy's Dog. I love their line of products. They are one of my favorite companies, and kind of doing their own thing and have their unique spin on products that maybe have been around a while, and truly changing the game when it comes to pleasure. So check her out. Remember to write down my code Annette15 for 15% off the site. And let me know if you get her and you try her out. I would love to know what you think. Does she get you off as much as she gets me off? If so, high five. All right, until next time, I'll see you in the locker room. Cheers.